Miscellaneous? Maybe? Gold bar. That's a good start. Game's kind of loud right now. Okay, that's a good chunk of bars what gets sold. Yeah, I'll just start. How would I have a hot plate? Oh, I have amassed some nonsense in my inventory, haven't I? Yeah, these aren't going to be coming up so much anymore, are they? Individual cigarettes. What we've come to. Any cool weapons? When I only use melee? The answer's no. Clap, clap. The answer's no. Clap, clap. MF Hyper Breeder Alpha. The Hyper Breeder? The motherfucking Hyper Breeder? What am I supposed to take as the implication of what that word means in universe? The Hyper Breeder. Wow. What a name for a gun. Goodness me. The vapors. The devil's pigtails. Shit, I need gear that's worth. I need gear that's worth the money that I can't get out of you right now. Alright, 4 out of 5 gold bars have been sold to the gun runners, and then nobody else seemed to be able to afford even one of the bars. So highlights how much money that particular faction has compared to anybody else, I guess. Weep whoop. You know, being here really gives me Am I the Baddies vibes.
What's up?
Hello.
Back.
No.
Sure. Just don't treat me like a pack Brahmin, okay?
Gauss rifle. A knife, I guess. Sierra Madre armor. Enjoy. My favorite thing about those items is that I don't have to carry them anymore. Okay. Put my armor back on. Put my old baby back on. Now we'll get back to the adventure. Alright, so the quest that starts this one up. Happy Trails Expedition. Find the Happy Trails Caravan Master. There, apparently. By the Northern Passage. Could go here from the North Gate. I've got my big stick again! Wow, that's a swing speed. God damn. North Vegas Square. Last DLC was weird. Lots of talk about an isolated series of mechanics that were all setting up that specific DLC, but they didn't really come together into a cohesive survival experience. It was an interesting attempt, but I don't know if it amounted to much. And it was increasingly strange that it was a game where they went to great lengths to explain to us that we all had bomb collars attached to our necks and that anybody dying would lead to all of us dying, effectively removing the idea of the option of us being able to betray each other or kill each other, or there being a choice about the survival of each other, because they have only one way to beat the DLC, which is for everyone to be alive, right? But then they just went back on that, and you can kill each other, and you just kind of have to run away a bit afterwards, which is really defangs the entire premise that they were setting up. Ah! Stop. I'm trying to walk to cover here. Moments like this, I really feel like I should, like, really start to feel like you should be able to run. Is that the grenade? It hasn't exploded. Hi. That is a grenade. I thought, yeah, I was like, wasn't he throwing a grenade? And then I thought that's what I was looking at just there. Got real alarmed really fast. These are NCR deserters. A service rival. Does the service rival know the breeder rifle? The hyper breeder? Do they get along? The service and the hyper breeder? These are not conversations the developer was ready to have. Anyway, not carrying all that shit around. I will eat food in order to refill health. Alright, so we're no longer on super hardcore mega survival mode or whatever it was called. I only turned it on for that DLC because it was supposed to... Supposedly, the point of the DLC is kind of lost if you don't have it on, but honestly, I don't think that being in hardcore mode changed that much, besides giving me a very slow ticking clock on my health bar, which didn't amount to much either. That's grim. I will not be opening that grave. You sure did present it as an option. Hi everybody, you were looking for one more on a scary adventure, right? Oh, that looks like it's not good news. That guy's just coming at... Oh, that's Arcade. I thought that was the quest guy sprinting at me. But instead, it's just Arcade spawned all the way over there. Jed Masterson, Stella, some guards, and Ricky. I'm so sorry to report that you two are the red shirts of this expedition.
One of them strip families up and disappeared. Poof. Yeah, they'll find his body someday.
You don't have to find all bodies. If you got chowed down on by a death claw, I don't know if anyone's going to be finding evidence later. Doop doop. I guess we'll just talk to you first.
Howdy, friend. Heard my little broadcast, did you? Yeah, you look the type.
Tell me more about the job.
The job is simple. Help us get this caravan into Zion and find New Canaan. The pay is 25 caps per day. Half up front, half on return. You'll get a bonus if we make it into Zion, plus another bonus if we reach New Canaan. Oh, one more thing. Don't mention the name Joshua Graham to anyone. Anyone.
Who is Joshua Graham and why shouldn't I talk about him?
Just don't. It makes the new Canaanites powerful uncomfortable, and it scares the britches off the tribals. Don't talk about the burn man either while you're at it. Trust me on this one. It's for your own good.
Tell me about the Happy Trails Caravan Company.
We're a smaller company out of Sacktown, up in the northern part of the NCR. We run some business through New Reno. They're on the Little Loop. Had a nice run to Salt Lake City too, but then we lost contact with New Canaan, and that went all to hell.
So, you guys are totally rich, right?
We do all right. Don't you worry about us. Got enough in the kitty to pay you anyways.
Why can't you get to Salt Lake City?
Without New Canaan's mission in Zion, the only ways to Salt Lake City are down the old I-80, or up through Ogden. The highway's too risky. NCR's rangers are so busy here in the Mojave, they don't have the manpower to keep the raiders off. Ogden's just too far. We'd lose more in travel expenses than we'd ever earn.
What can you tell me about New Canaan?
Don't know much about the place, but I can tell you about the people. The New Canaanites were some kind of religious group from before the war. They control the old city of Ogden, a ways north of Zion, and they got themselves a nice defensible mission in the canyon itself. Or they did. They trade a fair bit with the tribes in Zion. Well, the ones that don't try to kill them anyways.
You know anything about their religion?
I ain't a praying man myself. They paid for their goods and dealt square with us. That's all I ever cared about. But don't think that just because they're religious, that they're pacifists. They take care of their own, and they're damn fine marksmen, too.
You don't know what happened to their mission?
Nope. Hence this caravan. If we don't make contact with the new Canaanites, Happy Trails might as well just shrivel up and die.
I understand this caravan's headed to Zion. What can you tell me about the area?
Well, I ain't never been inside myself. Did some trading with the new Canaanites from their mission there, but that was all on the outskirts. All the old ways in and out were destroyed after the war, but we got ourselves the location of a pass the new Canaanites use. That's our way in. That's why I wanted someone with a Pip-Boy on the caravan. The map will be helpful for checking the topography, keeping us on the trail.
I haven't been through Utah recently. What's the situation like?
Well, it ain't good, I'll tell you that. It's not like the Mojave or the NCR. Hell, even Arizona under Caesar is safer. You got raiders all over the damn place. Tribes of degenerates that'll eat you as soon as look at you. Regional warlords, the works. Not too many decent places to stop and trade. New Canaan's one of the only ones left I know about.
Even Arizona under Caesar is safer. That is interesting. A reoccurring argument used both in the game and out is that once you get past the actual war front, Caesar's territory is very well ordered and maintained, and it's very safe to work there and so on. And it very well could just be people buying their own propaganda and arguments. So it's interesting that this guy says, hell, even Arizona under Caesar is safer. Maybe he is just expressing some level of disbelief on the idea that anything is good about Caesar or something, but it sounds like he's using Arizona under Caesar as an example of a place where it would be bad to be, usually, but even that is safer than Utah or whatever. That implies bad things about Arizona under Caesar, despite what everyone always says. Warlords, how dangerous are they?
Dangerous enough we won't be going near them if we can help it. I got no desire for my head to decorate some little gas station fort's walls, thanks.
Tell me about the raiders.
They're about what you'd expect. Crazy, jacked up on chems, violent as hell, and not too bright. The worst of the 80s, but we won't be passing through their turf on this run.
The 80s? Degenerate tribes?
That's right. The folks that lived in Zion before the war, they didn't just get a little savage. They're downright feral. Most of them don't even speak English anymore. You got to get yourself a new Canaanite translator to talk to them. The ones you really gotta watch out for are the Whitelegs from the Great Salt Lake. They'll attack just about anyone that ain't one of theirs.
We're both set. Let's go.
I bet you are. But we only got room for one more on this expedition. You'll have to leave your friend behind.
This feels purely like a logistical problem tied to... Oh god, carrying 50 pounds or less?
Yeah, reckon you will.
What's up?
Bye-bye. Okay. Carrying 50 pounds or less. Oh. Boy, it's time for some inventory management. Okay, well, it's a good thing this is a teleport spot, probably. I'm gonna revisit this bunker. Okay, so how's my gear looking? Apparel. Okay, that's only 16.5 pounds. And how heavy is my weapon? 20. Okay, so weapon plus apparel is 36, so I can carry about 15 pounds of other stuff. But at least this time I don't have to lose all of my gear that I actually use. This would be a good example of those kinds of situations where I wish I could sort by weight, though. The kind of issue in these games is just that your inventory gets so convoluted with so many items that are so hard to parse that eventually you're just like, what do I even have? What does it weigh? I don't fucking know. What, like, can I get like a pie chart of what my overall, like, weight distribution is as a character? Ooh, that's a permanent one. We definitely had a period of time where I expected to have to worry about my weight more. I've got too many sunset sarsaparillas. What am I gonna do? I thought that I was gonna have to eat food more, because earlier in the game, healing items were relatively rare. And so I needed to have, like, cooked squirrels and shit just in order to survive. 31 pounds of purified water? Oh my god. Look at me go. 74 stim packs. Okay, that'd be some of it. That would definitely be some of it. Alright. Still not enough. Okay. $70. Right, these are like 4 each, right? No, they're 1 each? Oh, that's the overall weight of the entire stack. Alright, Dean's Electronics, that's 3 repair. Pugilism Illustrated, that's 3 unarmed. Radaway has a weight of 0. Yeah, 4 pounds of healing items shouldn't be the end of it. What was that? Oh, that's the 20-pound baby. Desperillas. It's time to bite the bullet and maximize my disastrous sugar intake. Ugh. I'm okay. Gotta drink them all so you can find out if you got a star cap or not.
Are you here to jar at me a while longer? Or are we ready to get this show on the road?
I'm ready to go to Zion.
I bet you are. But you ain't going nowhere loaded down like a pack Brahmin.
Wait, wait. There's a, wait, this was not, wait. Damn it. This was here? Relax. I've humped this load across the Mojave on my own 2 feet long enough. I can handle it.
All right. I reckon you know your limits. You keel over on me out there, though, and I'll leave your ass after we take everything useful you crammed in your pack.
Okay, because it just gives you 10 more anyway. Whatever. Why the weight limit?
You ain't never been to Zion, have you? We'll be passing through a whole mess of narrow slot canyons and high rough passes. A big pack will get you wedged in like a super mutant crawling through a storm drain, and too much weight will kill you in the thin air.
It's Missouri in there! You ain't never been to Missouri! Alright, let's go. I'm ready.
Are you now? You know we ain't coming back this way for a good long while now, right? And you know about the weight limit. I don't want no whining about old Mr. Masterson. I left my one-of-a-kind plasma cannon back at base. Can we go back for it? You sure you're ready now?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Well, all right then. Let's get moving. We got a long road ahead of us.
No, that's a different DLC. Would you like some color banding?
The paths we're following are slow going, so you might as well keep your ears open and listen to what old Jed has to say. A few decades back, folks in the NCR started to hear about a community in northern Utah called New Canaan. Didn't know much about them, except that they were religious folks, sent out missionaries to talk to the tribes. We've seen our share of cults, but the New Canaanites, they were honest traders. Good fighters, too. Raiders wouldn't tangle with them. But then, the Legion appeared in Arizona. I reckon you know all about them. Turns out Caesar's first war chief, the Malpace Legate, was a New Canaanite, Joshua Graham. Legend goes that Graham was the meanest, toughest son of a bitch in the whole damn Legion. The New Canaanites wouldn't talk about him. They were ashamed. Guess I can't blame them. Well, at Hoover Dam, the Malpace Legate finally met his match. Hanlon and Oliver kicked his New Canaanite butt right back over the river. Caesar had to make an example for the others, to show them that even at the highest level, failure wouldn't be tolerated. He had Graham covered in pitch, lit on fire, and thrown into the Grand Canyon. People say he didn't even scream on the way down. Not long after, some of the slaves and tribals started to talk. Said Graham wasn't dead. Shouldn't have been any surprise. All this talk bothered Caesar, so he forbade anyone from speaking his name. Wanted to erase Joshua Graham from history. He got his wish. Joshua Graham disappeared, and in his place came legends of the burned man walking the wastes. Probably just a tribal ghost story. But New Canaan's been silent for a long time. Maybe it's a coincidence. Maybe the Malpace Legate is dead. Or maybe Joshua Graham did crawl out of that canyon and finally found his way back home.
Ah, noises are happening at me.
All right, people. Been a long couple of weeks, but here we are. Zion. I know your feet hurt. I know you're tired, but I need everyone's mind on the trail ahead.
Ain't the trail ahead worries me, Jed. Those descents we made through that slot canyon back up there. Ain't no way we're getting back out the way we come. And then what?
God damn it, Stella heard you the first time. And the 15th, too. The New Canaanites will know a way, and if they don't, we've got the maps on our friend's Pip-Boy over there. Enough lollygagging. Get moving, and keep an eye out for tribals.
Sorry to bother you with reality, old Jed. Who cares if we can't get back out the way we come? That's not a problem.
This is mean, but spawning in this direction and seeing this landscape with this lighting and that everything, that's like the ugliest visual I can remember in my history of ever playing Fallout games. I don't know what it was. Like the specific combination of like extra saturation that offsets the rest of the visual style of the game, the weird like uncanny Xbox 360 era visuals, the strange like lack of lighting and shading, the way that it looks like the brightness is just set to 100% with no shadows of any kind. Something is just very surreal in how bizarrely not right it looks in this specific landscape right here. Like, whoa. I think it's that like I think I'm like caught off guard because I feel like this was an Xbox 360 era game and it's being played on PC with better graphics here and there. But it looks like an original Xbox game or older. Like I'm like holy crap. This right here. It's a rough sight. Anyway. It's obviously not obviously not a big deal or anything, but I was just like really specifically startled by how ugly the game looked in that moment. Oop. So this is interesting because this is a character that was specific. Oop. Oop. The fuck just happened? Alright, everything just exploded at me. Anyway, I was about to say that like it's interesting that the cutscene sets up that we're dealing with apparently the man that is set up in the story of the main game. Like we learned about how Caesar lost the previous battle for the dam, and that person was made an example of, and that's been a character hinted at a few times. We don't know a ton about him, and they're still ramping up to try once again at that. So the idea that he is still alive and that this is clearly a DLC setting up the idea of meeting him specifically, that is interesting, because that sets up things we're going to be dealing with here. And I have issues with Caesar in general. I've thought about like his mess of like he did this bizarre smug speech about Hegelian dialectics and stuff like that last time we talked to him, and it was just a very strange conversation. I tried looking up more about Hegel because I don't know that much. I'm not much of a scholar in general, but the idea that it's wild to me that Caesar takes the abstract concept of the idea that like it's supposed to be that like thesis and antithesis come into conflict and create synthesis. It's the idea that like thing A and thing B fight each other, and then the two of them, like, it's supposed to be ideology. It's supposed to be that two ideas come into conflict and then compromise with each other and create a midpoint that is superior to both of them, having the good points of each and shedding some of the bad points, hopefully, and so on. Like something that is superior in the end. It's a baffling way to talk about war, because war is just war. Like an ongoing thing about there's debate over whether or not that line actually is true, but an ongoing line in the series is war never changes and so on. And like there's just this grimness to the idea that people do just fight, and they do just kill each other, and they do just end the world, and they do just endlessly conquer each other. And like there has been generation upon generation of reconquering this land, both before the nukes dropped and after the nukes dropped. And also there's the act of the nukes dropping themselves, and none of those steps were two factions coming together to form a third new, better thing. That's just not what war does. War is just a thing where people die, and then somebody takes. That's what war does, and that is what Caesar is doing. So this bizarre romantic notion that things will come together magically and form a synthesis and so on because Hegel said once about completely other things is a comically nonsensical like justification for what he's doing. That was just like a wild speech he goes on, and it's just I'm not sure if anyone gets Hegel. I don't think I get Hegel. I'm pretty sure he doesn't get Hegel. Well, slide. He's still shooting. Damn. Well, this is awkward. That's a 0% survival rate on this mission. That's gonna be a rough start to this. Minus 2 intelligence, and it hurt. Oh, it's just poison. Ow! Bitter drink. We got money. We got some moonshine. Alright, well, say goodbye to all of the characters in this intro part. Hey, Stella. Never talked to you. Thought I might meet you at some point, but I guess you're dead now. Anyway, everyone's really dangerous so far, and I am a melee butt man. I'm gonna go over here. Hi, friends. Alright. Weapon binding ritual. Heal per... Oh, perception and limb damage. Restore limb condition, melee damage, plus 10, unarmed damage, plus 10. So it does some damage, but it heals your limbs and gives you better... Makes you better at the thing I do. That's interesting. Well, that was unexpected. The guy who narrates and introduces the entire DLC is dead already. I imagine if you're a cool sniper man playing on easy, then it's easy to keep him alive for a bit or something, but holy shit, they got shredded. They got hit by an ambush that I could not defend them from as a melee dude. So we're gonna be hanging out on my own for a bit, drinking dirty water and yucca fruit as I hang out in this very red area.
Oi, what you doing? There's still whitelegs back there. Wait, you came from outside, didn't you? From the civilized lands. Wow, Joshua will want to hear about this.
Who is Joshua?
Joshua Graham. He leads our tribe. Thanks to him, the dead horses are strong and safe from our enemies. He'll want to talk to anyone coming up from Southways. Guess that means just you now. Come, I can take you to him.
Alright, let's go.
Good sists. We head east then. Joshua is at our tribe's camp in the Eastern Virgin.
Oh, gut sis. I thought you said good cysts. I'm like, I don't like that saying. What? Follows chalk has given you the well-stacked... Oh, Karen's perked. Line break was very funny there. While follows chalk is in your party, reaching any summit in Zion Valley, such as ranger stations, will reveal all nearby map markers and inspire a heightened state of awareness plus 3 perception for 3 minutes. Okay. Allied perks are pretty minimal usually. Yeah, that one person was up on a ledge, so I just kind of had to pass up on them. Ah! Was that a trap, or was it that was one of the drinks I had? Did it hurt?
Hold up. See that log over there? Take a closer look. There might be some good stuff tucked in.
Yeah. Well. I'm not that proud of you for noticing that, because you were literally hiding right here on top of the log. So we're just going, I guess. Okay. Hey, new bestie. We're just party members now, I guess. Let's have a chat.
What can I tell you?
Tell me a little about this area. Any interesting wildlife?
Mostly it's the mountain bighorners. Whole herd of them up on the cliffs there. Usually they're not too aggressive, but lately, whew. My guess is one of the calves got lost somewhere along the way. Bighorners are communal. One missing calf, and the whole herd gets ornery. If that calf doesn't turn up soon, they might very well come down into the valley and attack the camp.
Maybe I can help with that.
Yeah? Hey, thanks. Most of the hunters don't listen when I tell them the problem. Just one thing. Try not to kill any bighorners if you can, yeah? You'll drive the herd off and we'll have to range farther on our hunts.
What would you suggest I do instead?
You might try luring the baby out with some banana yucca. These bighorners go crazy for the stuff.
Alright, I'll look into it.
That's great. I'll help any way I can. What can I tell you?
Who were those tribals who attacked me?
Whitelegs. Nasty bunch. They've been raiding deeper into Zion ever since New Canaan was wiped out.
Whitelegs is a strange name to land on. Wait, what? New Canaan was wiped out? How?
That's what Joshua said. Whitelegs came down from Great Salt Lake in force. Fell on New Canaan before they could mount a defense. Joshua found some of the survivors led by a man named Daniel. Most of them have fled the valley. But Daniel stayed on with the Sorrows tribe. He and Joshua have been arguing over whether to stand and fight the Whitelegs, or take the Sorrows and the dead horses out of the valley.
Where do they come from?
That's the weird part. Normally the Whitelegs keep to the Great Salt Lake. I don't know what brought them down this far south.
So they're called the Whitelegs because they often have salt on their legs because they walk the salt lake. The salt flats. I want to know more about you.
What can I tell you?
Why are you called Follows Chalk?
Our advanced scouts leave chalk signs to mark places rich with game. I'm not a full scout yet, so I follow the marks and guide the hunters.
What are all those tattoos?
Dead horses mark ourselves to commemorate our hunts. When a hunter takes a great beast, or when a youth goes on his first hunt, he gets a tattoo.
Tell me about your tribe.
We came up in the land of the dead horse, though why the back when folks called it that, I got no hint. We raided, we fought, we lost. Our enemies drove us back into Zion, and we would have died if it hadn't been for Joshua. Joshua and his Kaisar.
Wait, what about Kaiser?
When Joshua first came to us, he was servant to a man he called Kaisar. He led his master's armies, and we were ready to follow him into war. Then he lost his master's army to a tribe called NCR, the Sunset People. When he returned, he was as you saw him. Burned, broken, but changed. He led us away from Kaisar, led us to our own destiny in Zion.
NCR, the Sunset People. He speaks it out phonetically because he doesn't understand that it's an acronym. And they're called the Sunset People because they live in California, the last piece of land that the sun hits and the last that it sees as it sets. The opposite of, like, Japan being land of the rising sun. Like, obviously there are a number of land masses between Japan and California, but not a ton. So, like, as much as it's like if Japan is the sunrise people, then California would be the sunset. Any pretense that this guy's not alive and not here, or what his identity is just gone instantly. Like, immediately it's like, yes, no, this is the guy. This is the guy that lost the Battle of Hoover Dam. What did Joshua do for you?
If it wasn't for Joshua, the dead horses would still be the whipping boys of the Zion Valley. He taught us how to hold our territory, to protect ourselves. He guided us away from Kaisar, and showed us how Kaisar would have destroyed us.
What's with the shell casings in your club?
We decorate our clubs with them to honor Joshua Graham. They were the weapons of his old tribe, so now they are ours. Can't say they seem that dangerous to me, but Joshua says they won the West.
Do you remember anything about Joshua before he became your leader?
Only a little. I was very young. He was different. Prouder, yes, but harder, crueler, more driven. Really, I was terrified of him. We all were. When he came back, I almost didn't believe he was the same man. He was humbler. He wanted to protect, not destroy.
Why is it so important that we fight the Whitelegs?
Well, because they're our enemies. What else would we do? They take our land, they kill our scouts, they poach our hunting grounds.
What do you know about the new Canaanites?
Little bit. I met some of their missionaries a few times, but I've never been to their city. Joshua could tell you more. Or Daniel, I imagine.
Tell me more about Joshua Graham.
He's been the chief of our tribe since he came back to the valley. He went off to the civilized world years ago to fight a war. That didn't go well.
What happened to him?
You see his face, you'll understand.
The only recent war I know of was when Caesar's legion attacked Hoover Dam. Is that where he fought?
I don't know. He doesn't talk about it much. Maybe. But how can two civilized tribes fight over something as small as a dam?
Small? Have you ever seen Hoover Dam? It's bigger than some of these mountains.
Really? That's... my gods. Must be some mighty civilized folks who built that.
You'd be surprised what civilized tribes will fight over.
Now you sound like Joshua. He always tells me that tribal life is better, that I should stay here and forget the outside world.
I'll talk to you later.
Go with fortune, friend.
Well now. This place actually looks pretty big.